Good afternoon, class. We are on the homepage of Canvas for stats. My name is Dr. Oraipur, and I had sent you several emails regarding the course. So we go to the homepage and we cover everything about the course, starting with numbers. Look at the way I've set up the homepage. You just follow these numbers 1, 2, 3, and so forth. Number one starts with a short welcoming message to our students. Number two is the class philosophy. If you click on it, it basically gives the philosophy as follows.
2024 Spring. Class Philosophy. Class Philosophy. This class is a community and therefore, we all have the same objective, to learn. Online students often feel isolated, but it is vitally important to know you are not in this alone. I would like each of you to approach our online class with a great attitude and a willingness to help one another. Many problems and questions can be resolved by asking a fellow student. I am always here to help you, but I truly believe your experience will be more fruitful if you communicate with your fellow students as well. Let us work together to make this a memorable semester for each and every one of us.
I'm going to go back to the home page. The next one, number 3, is about the announcements. I'm going to put this in student view or student mode. When you click on this announcement, it's right here or on the left navigation bar. Either way makes no difference. These are the announcements that have been sent to you and can be found under the announcements of the Canvas. There was a recorded orientation, orientation exemption, welcome and orientation, and welcome to your virtual course. There has been several emails sent to you to make sure that you're here. And I want to go back to the home page. Number 4, it says follow the steps, the syllabus, modules, which has the practice test, the PowerPoint, solution to practice test. Then we have the discussion forum here on the left navigation bar or here. And at the end, you do have the student office hours posted also. Let me give the student view again. And so I'm going to start with the syllabus, and under the syllabus, you see the Excel file and the actual syllabus. Let me quickly show you what's in the Excel file. In short, it gives you the due dates for your assignments, including the exams. The first assignment is due in a couple of days, which is the mandatory introduction assignment to my open math, and the second one, algebra review. And each exam takes place in about 3 to 4 weeks. So the first exam is coming up shortly, and we have the date here. And if you follow the lectures as they are here, you should be in good shape. The actual syllabus, since it's pretty long, I have put them in the format that it has the various topics. You can go to a topic of interest if you don't want to go over the entire syllabus. I'm going to take a couple of minutes to go over the entire syllabus. Starts with the semester, the name of the course, learning outcome, course objective, and so on. That's what it begins. The text is a free text by OpenStax. I will show you when I go to my OpenMath. The online assignment is done in my OpenMath, and it's absolutely free. So you don't have to pay for anything, class. And again, more information about the orientation, you're already here. You don't have to worry about that. And these are the dates for the exams. The way I've set them up, every exam is due on Saturday. Okay. On Friday before that, from 2 to 4, I make myself available in case you have Q&A. Remember, what we are going to have practice tests that are recorded and posted on Canvas, and I'll show you where to find them. But if in case you have a question other than coming to the office hours, these are extra time, you're more than welcome to stop by if you have any questions. You don't have to if you don't have any questions. Um, there is no proctorio. The setup is such that you can take the exam from the moment you receive the email from me. That email contains the information about the exam, and it can be found under the announcements, and it gives you the information, including the password for that particular exam. Meeting and important dates. We don't have any lecture meetings. Everything is um, online. Calculators, tables, formula sheets. You can use all of them for the exam, and even a graphing calculator, including any TI, will do the job. Although there are calculators online for free, I'll show you where to find them. The tech support for the publisher, for Canvas, for the campus, all of them are here in case you need help. The Math Success Center is the tutoring center, and I have the website for them, so you can look up more information as to when and how they are available to help you. There are other websites that are helpful are here. And then probably the most important thing for everybody would be the grading policy. Online homework, 200 points. Okay. And the way it's set up, when you take the homework, doesn't have to be finished in one setting. You can do it as long as it's done before the due date, and it can be done in several settings. However, you want to be at top of your game. And if you make a mistake with any question, you can get a similar example and get a full credit for that, as long as you get a similar example and you do it right. So that's, and those really should be easy points to get. Participation discussion board, 100 points, there are 5 of them, each one is 20 points, I'll show you in a moment. 4 exams, each one is 100 points, and the final, which is a comprehensive final, is 300 points. It's really a fairly easy exam, although it's comprehensive. It's based on the previous 4 exams plus the new module. It's a point system, total of 1,000 points. Therefore, 90% and above, meaning 900 points, is an A. 80% or above, that means 800 is a B. 70% or above, 700 is a C, and so forth. Basically, there is no makeup policy because a week in advance you receive an email regarding the exam, and you can take the exam anytime you want, as long as it's before the due date. Okay. The final, so your lowest grade before the final may be replaced by the final exam if the final score is a grade of B, 80% or higher. Your homework and discussion board also 90% or higher. And this will result in a higher letter grade. Because even if we make those changes, but the letter grade remains the same, it defeats the purpose of doing so. And if you miss any of the exams, it ends up being zero. Basically, there's a 10% penalty for some of the assignments that you can use a late pass on that. I highly recommend you avoid that to avoid the 10% penalty as well as getting behind. Exception to that, of course, we don't have that for mandatory assignments or discussion forums or anything like that, exams, you name it. The next thing that I find it interesting is called CSULB Study 36. And here's the website, you can check it out. According to them, you need 3 times the number of unit hours per week to do well. So this is a 4-unit course. You need 12 hours per week to be successful. Dropping, basically the dropping policy, if you miss the orientation, do not register with the publisher within 24 hours. Miss the first assignment or miss any of the exams, you will be dropped. And then I have more helpful websites for TSPS, financial aid, and so forth, okay? Here's the office hours. Also, you can find this at the bottom of the homepage of Canvas. It's posted here. Basic needs, so on and so forth. And I want to go over this concept of an etiquette. Just like any other courses, you really want to be courteous to everyone, and we are all there to learn and help one another. So we want to be professional, we want to be courteous. It's a college, we want to use the correct spelling and grammar, and in short, just absolutely positive tone. Okay. You can read the rest of it, and I highly recommend you just treat this as an experience with the higher education, and you'll be in good shape. I'm going to go back to the home page. Now, the next one is the modules that has a lot of stuff. But before doing that, I want to go to the discussion forum. Doesn't take long. So again, you can click on it right here or on the left navigation bar. Either way is fine. The very first thing you find is student bios. If I put one mine as an example, if you like to put one of yours, so your fellow students get to know you, that'd be fantastic. If you want to write a comment for any fellow student, absolutely with a positive tone, it's great, with utmost respect. The next one is FAQ, frequently asked questions. Sometimes students ask questions and I've answered them here. Please consult with this before you send your email. Do I need a course ID? No, because you go under the modules and I'll show you what happens. You just register with my Open Math. Do I need to have a text? No, everything is online. Here's the tech support. Here's the information about the late pass, how to check your grade. If the assignment is passed to, how do you review that? And where to find the exam password. I just mentioned it. I want to mention it again. Announcements with the exam title or email to students and have all the information, including the exam password. For you really want to be at top of your game and pay attention to the emails that you receive from me. You won't receive a lot of emails from me, but you do receive some, and that's the nature of the course. Make sure you pay attention to them. If you go to announcements, and if it's in student view, you won't see it yet, but now it's not in student view. All these announcements are here. Under the name exam one, for example, you have all the information, including the password. In case you miss my email. I want to go back to discussion forum. So those first two, student bios and frequently asked questions, take a look at them. It takes a couple of minutes. And the rest of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there are 5 discussion forums. Each one is worth 20 points. So let's look at this one.
You are required to post, at least, one question and its solution either from practice test number 1 posted under the modules, or any source of your choice, per grading policy in the syllabus. You must read all the posts and make sure not to duplicate any questions. Similar questions are acceptable. Read all the posts, questions and solutions posted by others first, and pick a different question to post. No duplication is allowed. A question with one-word solution, one-line solution, or definition is not acceptable and results in 0 points for the post. 10 points. Write the question number and copy down the question. Show all steps using the math equation editor or embed an image solution as explained below. Find a similar problem online, or on YouTube, or Khan Academy and post the link. 5 points. Comment on, explain, at least one classmate question that is either solved or is found online and posted by watching it carefully in its entirety. Explain about what the question addressed and what you learned from it and outline a few steps you learned as a result. A compliment is nice but is not a comment. 5 points. Example of a student post, made up example.
So it is explained exactly what you need to do, and I highly recommend you read it again when you want to do the posting. Here's an example. I put a question. I'm answering it with formulas and details. Then I go on and find a similar question on a YouTube, and I put it here. And then I'm commenting on somebody's question, supposedly. And the comment is not just thank you, you did a great job. Comment is in a manner that if somebody reads my comment should recognize what I learned from that. What was the post all about? Please read this before you post it. And when you post for the first one, then the next ones, number 2, 3, 4, 5 are similar to that. Each one is worth 20 points. Again, in the past, students have had an easy time getting those points. So we practically covered everything. The last thing that just has most of this stuff is under the modules right here or right here. It makes no difference. First, we see my open math. Then we see recorded practice test. Then we see exam 1 module, exam 2, exam 3, exam 4 module. Module 5 is part of the final, and then some resources. So I'm going to cover the very first one. Let me put this in student mode. The first one is my open math. This is where you do all your assignments, online homework, exams. There is no need for course ID. So what do? You click on this. You click on this and you start registering class. Okay. You either have a username password or you create an account. Very straightforward. Okay. So going back to the modules, and now I'm going to leave the student mode. So the first one, you get started with my open math. What is the second one? First, this is the latest practice test recordings I have, my YouTube channel, from module 1, which covers chapters 1, 2, 3, all the way to the last one, module 5. So you have the practice test and you have the solution to practice test with details here. Okay. Then this is prior recordings. This is instruction on taking exams in my open math. There will be announcements sent to you. I highly recommend you pay attention to that because you want to get partial credit. You want to show your work. So pay attention to that. And then we have the lectures section by section, starting with 1.1. Everything is here. Okay, everybody? So in short, under the modules, the second one has all the recorded information for you, recorded PowerPoints lectures, as well as practices. Now, exam modules are similar, so I'm going to just look at exam 1. I start with the practice test, and the purpose of that is for you to either download it to your computer or take a print and take 5 minutes to read this. And what it means is it is telling you what will be covered for the first module for the first exam. Going back to the modules, then I give you chapters 1, 2, 3 because that's what it's covered. Those are the PowerPoints. If you go to those PowerPoints and bring up the first one, for example, this PowerPoint class, you can download it, put it in slide mode. And so what happens is that it doesn't just give you a whole page. When you put it in slide mode and click down arrow, it goes over everything step by step. Especially when you get to the example, it won't show you the solution. It just shows you the question. And then as you arrow down, it shows you step by step solution. That's the way you should uh, do your PowerPoints. And going back to the module, this would, and then you continue. 1, 2, 3 for each one. You can look at the rest of them. For example, I think if I go back here, I can go to 1.2, 1.3, and so on. And over here, so I had the practice test, I had the PowerPoints, and what is the last one? The last one is a detailed solution to this practice test. So remember, this was the practice test. Please do 1 or 2 questions on a daily basis. That's all. Maybe 1 question per day. 1 or 2 questions. And here's the solutions. The week of the exam, you really should consult with this to make sure you have it done right, properly, with proper formulas. Okay. And remember, over here, you can find the solution in the form of a PowerPoint lecture. So not only we have the practice test, the PowerPoints to help us learn, the solution to practice test, we also have recorded solution to practice. So everything that you need is here. And then the rest of the modules are similar in the same manner. The last one would be some resources, such as formulas, tables, and information about the calculator. Starting with the first one, you need the formulas for the exam, everybody, because the formulas are pretty complicated, and that's why it's given to you. You can just use this or make up an index card. You may use a formula sheet for the exam. Also, you can use a table. Have all the tables you need, such as the z-score, sometimes referred to z-score, z-table, a t-table, a chi-square table, so on and so forth. So these are the resources under Canvas, the last module. And if you look at this one, now the information about TI, these are the basic commands. And if you need more commands, you can always look them up. But I have pretty much given you every type of command that you need for this course. Aside from that, in the beginning, I have this website for you. There is a possibility that you can download an emulator, and if it works, you get a TI calculator like this one. But it may not work all the time. You can give it a shot, although there are other ways to get a free calculator. I'll go over that in a moment. So under the modules, you can find my open math, the PowerPoints, the modules, and the resources at the end. So you go to my open math to do your work. When you go to my open math, what do you find? At the very top, it's a mandatory, assignment, which is an introduction to my open math. I will show you in a moment. And the next one is the algebra review. I'm hoping that this algebra review will help you see what you need to know to easily move on. And under the exams, you find all the exams. I'm going to, it's expanded. I'm going to, get rid of it for now, but it is available. Then we have the course description. We have the calendar. Okay. The first assignment is due on Wednesday. The next one is on Friday. All of these assignments, I'm going to put it right before exam 1. I'm going to change that. But I want to make a point of something, and that is this. Uh, you really should do your homework on a daily basis. So this will be changing in a moment. And as you go down, let me show you what you have. Module 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just the way you have it in Canvas. So module 1 like module 1, module 2 like module 2. What is module 0? I want to explain this one to you. This is basically the resources. If you think you don't need them, you can ignore them. But I'm going to quickly tell you what you find there. Textbook, or more like a reference text, okay? This is the textbook, and it's based on this one. This one, if you view it online, it's easier to navigate, okay? Whereas this one, it has the proper order class, okay? But it doesn't matter. It's up to you. You can use any of them. I think it's easier to navigate this one. Again, if you need it as a reference text. As you move on, it talks about the late pass, how it's used, calendar, gradebook, how to review any of your assignments in MOM, in My Open Math, instructors resources, multimedia library, free online calculators. These are calculators that are free class, and I highly recommend, if you don't have a calculator of your own, and if you couldn't get that emulator that I showed you, explore this, see which one works for you. For example, this is specifically for statistics, okay? And since it has some advertisement, I'm going to get rid of it. But please understand, these are mostly aimed at statistics. I mean, this one is for standard deviation, this one is for Poisson distribution, so on and so forth. Then we have instructor resources here, multimedia library, more videos, the p-value calculator. Later on, when we discuss the test of hypothesis, you know what's a p-value, and this may come handy. There are more calculators. One of the common ones is Desma's, and you can find it here. And here's the information as to how to work with that calculator. As we go down, there are more and more and more external websites, such as, again, online stat calculator, daily schedule calculator, and so on and so forth. So there is a conic, everything that you need is here as resources. So I'm going to go back to module 0. Again, just take a couple of minutes at some point to explore that, see if there is anything there that you can use. And everything is for free there, okay? So I hope everybody is fine with that, okay? Now, what do you find under module 1? Module 1, if you recall, it covers 3 chapters, 1, 2, 3. So we have it here, chapter 1, 2, 3. Give me a quick second, class. I paused the recording. I want to change the due date for this because it was wrong. So give me a quick second. And okay. Okay, I'm going to continue with that. Okay, I'm going to continue with recording everybody. All right. I think it's fine. Let me just. Okay, we are continuing with the recording. This was updated. Okay, I wanted to make sure that this is updated there. All of them are due before exam one. And so we are in good shape. So what do you find under module one? You find chapter 1, 2, 3, just as we did in Canvas. Expand one, and you get the sections. Expand the first section. Okay. And you get, first watch these videos, then do the homework assignments. By the way, report any broken link, please, because sometimes it happens. Okay. So I appreciate if you do that. If you watch these recordings, that may be good enough for you. If not, you can watch my videos and other recommended videos and then go do the homework here. Okay, class? You go to 1.2, does the same thing. First, watch the video lectures. Then there are more resources. Do 1.2, the same thing for 1.3. That's how it works. And now what I want to do, I want to go to the first assignment and show you. First of all, as far as the second assignment, what I want to show you is that many of the assignments, for example, this one, when you go down and you're doing the homework, if you get stuck, there is a video here. This one has one. So most of them do. There are some that they don't. So you do find videos there. And I wanted to emphasize that so you know that. But there are some questions that may not have it. So it's really not that big of a deal. The first assignment, you start, and this is for the purpose of being able to enter your work here and learn how to deal with my open math. I can't emphasize this enough, everybody. So enter the number. Let's enter the number here. When you click on this box, it lets you use a math editor in case. In this case, it's very simple. We don't really need that. We plug in 45.5787. So that's the first one. The second one says to the nearest hundreds. So we want to do the rounding. So 7. So we write 45.5. 7 next to it is 8. We take it up to 8. So again, this is the number that we want. 7 next to it is 8. We take it up. Division by 0 can't happen. It's undefined. When you click on this, it doesn't have undefined. You put DNE, which means does not exist. Now, if you submit the question, check mark tells you you did it right. And you move on to the next question. Now, let's move on to this question and let's answer it wrong. 1/3 is 0.3 bar. Let's answer 0.5, which is the wrong answer. And you submit the question. So when it happens, you lose the point. There is nothing that we got here. What do? Do we move on? No. I'm going to say get a similar question. It happened to give me the same one. But anyways, so now I'm going to put 0 point. And it says enter 4 or more decimal places. Pay attention to this. So I put quite a bunch. And now I submit the question. So what happened? Now it's correct. So it doesn't matter that I made a mistake in the previous case. Now that I fixed it, this is the latest grade that they are going to record for me. And if you look at this one, you say, okay, I'm done. The reason is because something has come up and I can't finish the homework. This is my score. It's going to make a note of it. And anytime I'll go back and resume, it will update my grade as long as it's done before the due date. So I can resume and continue with the rest of it, or I can exit. Remember, when you exit this, the grade that you've received so far, it's going to be registered. However, it will be updated as you go through that and do more examples. So I want to recap quickly what we have done. You go to the homepage of Canvas. The first one is a short welcoming message. The next one is the philosophy of the course. The next one is about the announcements. And then number 4, if you come down and look at each and every one of them, it's about the syllabus, what you find in modules, discussion forums, and at the end, the office hours that are posted here as well as in the syllabus. On the left navigation bar, if you click on the discussion forum, the first one is the student bio, the second one is the frequently asked questions, and the next 5 are the ones that are graded, 20 points each. Back to the home page. The main one is modules. The first one, you register with my Open Math. The second one, my PowerPoint lectures as far as lectures section by section is concerned, or the practice test. Starting with exam 1 module, first I show you the practice test, then the PowerPoints, and finally I give you detailed solution to the practice test. The rest of them, 2, 3, 4, 5, they repeat this in the same manner. And finally, the last one that represents some resources for your course. Going back to the home page of Canvas, if you go to my Open Math, the first assignment, it's an introduction to MOM. The second one is algebra review. Exams can be found right here. You don't have to expand it yet because we don't have to worry about it. Then the calendar tells us what is due. Next, it's coming up on Wednesday here, Friday here. All of this homework due before the first exam. Please do them on a daily basis. All you have to do either 1 section per day or a few sections per week. Module 0 is nothing but a bunch of resources, a lot of resources. Please explore them. And your work starts with module 1. Never mind the rest of them. Under module 1, you expand chapter 1 and you start working on that, starting with the videos, and you go down to do your homework. So going back to the homepage of Canvas, so that's all there is to it. I wish you all best of luck and happy studying, everybody.